What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And we are back after a 1-1 night for us. We were heavy on the futures yesterday, but we wind up going 1-1. If you were on the Discord channel chat, you saw me when I said take OKC plus 2.5 at the beginning of the second overtime. And that cashed because OKC won the game, but our pre-flop loss came in with under 7.5. The Warriors win easily over the Lakers. The Lakers are going to stink, as we talked about last night, but the Warriors looked very good. I like the Warriors a lot. I like what Jimmy Butler looked like last night, 31 points for him. Steph was Steph. I'm high on the Warriors. I think they're going to be a formidable opponent here for the OKC Thunder and other teams in the Western Conference. So 1-1, down 0.1. So it's a flat day. But we lost on Monday, so we're off to a losing start to the week on Monday and Tuesday as we head here into a Wednesday. It is an NBA day again today. I'm not going to bet hockey. And then baseball starts Friday. Tomorrow night we have NFL football. So we will do basketball today, and then we'll do football tomorrow, and then we'll do baseball on Friday, and then we'll see Saturday on the weekends and whatnot as we roll. So just heads up, FYI, as the week is going to roll for us. However, for those of you asking about the prop bet cheat sheet, and for those of you asking about the prop bets that we did very well with last year, you have to allow the prop bet cheat sheet, the algorithm needs data. And so anything that's being projected right now is off of last season. And so even the bets I'm going to give you here today for the NBA, it's all projections, right? It's all, we're flying blind in the beginning part of the NBA season. And really, this is kind of how I do it. I come out of the gate, I make some plays early. We hope to be basically 500, and then we let things marinate, and we'll go and bet football, and then we'll come back to the NBA next week. After about 10 days, that's when I tend to look at the prop bet cheat sheet and start to pull NBA prop bets. So look, it's October. We're going to be betting the NBA consistently from now until June, okay? So I know there's this added where are the prop bets? It was so good last year. Hold on a second. We're going to get into the prop bets, but I use the prop bet cheat sheets, and let's let these games be played. We need a couple of games for each team before we get to any real data to be able to pull from. So again, even the bets I'm making today, we are flying blind on this. We're just using some data from last year and some common sense to make the projection, right? I think the Lakers are going to stink. I like the Warriors. The Warriors were -2-point favorites. Easy peasy. Make the bet, okay? Bet the Warriors. That was the easy play. The OKC Thunder got their ring. Game went to double overtime. It was an incredible matchup. Thunder are going to be very good, but the Rockets are going to be equally good. I doubt the Rockets are going to be 7.5-point dogs much ever again this season, given Kevin Durant and everything else. So great game, great performance, but the Thunder win the game. They just don't cover the 7.5-point spread. So 1-1, I will take it. Before we get into the picks for today, a reminder that this podcast is being brought to you by Hard Rock Bet. On Hard Rock Bet, you don't have to wait till week 8 to kick off to get on the action. There's always something to bet on. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time to get $150 of bonus bets if you win by placing a $5 bet. If that hits, you get your winnings and $150 in bonus bets. The NBA is back, which means it's time to shoot your shot on Hard Rock Bet. Your home for hoops action all season long. Need a little help for your first bet? Check out these streaks heating up on the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. You can find live odds to bet on these streaks right now on the Hard Rock Bet app. The Hornets have failed to cover in 10 straight games at home as home favorites. The Cavaliers have covered the spread as road underdogs against each conference team 8 times in a row. The Cavs are also on a 7-game win streak against the Atlantic Division, and the Magic have covered the spread in 4 straight home games as home favorites. Those stats are from last year, obviously. Plus, all week long on Hard Rock Bet, you get an NBA parlay boost for games. There's new promos every day, so boost your same-game parlay or your SGP max so your plays pay extra winnings. Wednesday's a great day to sign up for Hard Rock Bet. Why? Legendary reward drops. They happen every Thursday, so you get one right away. You'll get an extra bonus bet. Parlay insurance. You never know what you're going to get. Check out the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app and make your first deposit today. All right, so let's start with the Celtics. I told you last night I like Boston over 41.5 wins. Celtics and the Sixers, huge rivalry. Now, Boston owned Philly because Joel Embiid could never beat Al Horford. It's why the Celtics were so excited to bring Al Horford back after he went to Philadelphia. Sixers were, we can't beat him, join him type of thing. So they couldn't beat the Celtics with Al Horford. So they signed Al Horford. So Al Horford went to Philadelphia. It was a disaster because, well, the Sixers are a disaster. And so then you go and get Al Horford back, and now Al Horford is gone again. Now Al Horford is with the Warriors. I love the signing for Al Horford to go to the Warriors. Hate it for the Celtics. However, there is a quote going around, and I've been talking about this Starting Five show so much that Netflix should start paying me because I've been quoting it so much. But there is an unbelievable quote from the show between Jaylen Brown and Joe Mazzulla. I was laughing so hard when I heard it last night that my daughter came in and asked me why I was laughing so hard and what was so funny. And I had to explain to her that Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Celtics, was asked about getting into a fight with Jaylen Brown and who would win in a fight between Jaylen Brown and Joe Mazzulla. And Joe said, well, Jaylen will probably win, but neither one of us are coming out alive. Like literally saying, I might lose, but I'm going to kill you. That is the mentality of the Boston Celtics head coach. He is insane. I can't stress how much I love Joe Mazzulla. Like, I absolutely love the guy. He's a mixed martial artist. He does jiu-jitsu. He is a no joke, no frills, no nonsense, take someone out at all costs type of coach. The Sixers coming to town, I don't think are prepared for what's going to happen. Boston's not going to get into firefights with teams. We have seen a steady stream of over money bets come in here over the last 48 hours. This number has ballooned from an opener of 224.5 to now 228.5. I just don't think Boston's going to play the way that everybody thinks. I mean, maybe Boston is going to play really up-tempo and shoot a ton of threes like they have before. Maybe without Jason Tatum's ability to drive to the basket, they're going to shoot even more threes. Maybe. But defensively, I think Boston's going to absolutely lock in and lock down. I think they know the only way they can contend is by being the best defensive team in the league. That they have to play an elite brand of defense, that Jaylen Brown is a great defender, and that guys like Tyrese Maxey cannot get to the rim. You cannot allow him to beat you because then Joel Embiid gets going. Boston doesn't really have an answer for Embiid, to be quite honest tonight. I'm not sure how Boston defends Joel Embiid. It could be just let Embiid get his and then nobody else gets anything else because I'm not sure there's a real matchup. It was Al Horford, and Al's gone. So I am very curious to see how Boston is going to defend. But I think Boston's going to play slower than people think. I think Boston's going to be more deliberate. And I'm going to come in and take the under. It's all the way up to 228.5. You guys might get 229. You might get 230. You may get a better number. But I think this game goes under. I don't think we see, a 120 to 110 type of basketball game here. Boston's favored. I would lean to Philly a little bit here early in the year for Boston, in particular if Joel Embiid really goes off. But I think the best play in the game is the under. Celtics, Sixers, under 228.5 for 1.1 units. Second bet. And I went and took a look at this a little bit from last year. Now, these are all old stats from last year. However, when you look at teams on the road being favored, like Cleveland was tonight for last year, when Cleveland was on the road and favored last year, the over hit 25 times and missed 13 times. That's a 66% clip that they went over when they were a road favorite. As a home underdog, the New York Knicks, they were only home underdogs 6 times last year. 5-1 to the over. Now, Tibbs is gone, okay? So you have Mike Brown coming in, new coach. But I think they're going to play more up-tempo. I think the Knicks are going to play more like the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think they're going to be deliberate. I think they're going to shoot a bunch of threes. I think they're going to be a bit more up-tempo. And Cleveland, we know what they do. They bomb it. They come in and just start jacking threes. Donovan Mitchell and company, they're basically taking threes from the bus. So no Max Strus, he's out. No Darius Garland, he is out. Game time decision for DeAndre Hunter, which to me doesn't hurt the overplay because he's a great defensive player. Karl Anthony Towns is a game time decision. OG Anunoby is also a game time decision, but Mitchell Robinson is out. Josh Hart is out for this game for the New York Knicks. I think we see points. I think it's up tempo. I think it's up and down. I think we shoot a ton of threes. I'm playing the over. Over Cleveland and New York. Over 226.5 for 1.1 units. Before we talk about the last play of the day, let me remind you about the Ricky Pearsall jersey that's available right now. If you guys want to win it, all you have to do is subscribe to the BettingPros YouTube channel and comment on this video, and we may select you to win this jersey thanks to our friends at pristineauction.com. A 49ers autographed Ricky Pearsall jersey will be given away in the first week of November. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment on this video to enter in to win that signed jersey. Finally, Dallas and the Spurs. I am a big fan of Cooper Cup. I want to call him Cooper Cup. I need Cooper Flag. It's like the fifth time today I've said the wrong word. But Kyrie Irving is out, okay? Blew out his knee, ACL. Will Anthony Davis stay healthy? Because the Lakers really could use him. Could have used him last night. But now you have a backcourt where Kyrie Irving at some point will play. When, we don't know. But they brought in D'Angelo Russell to pick up the minutes. Okay. This is about Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis. Okay. They're playing Wembanyama. Out of the gate, that's going to be a very difficult matchup. However, Ryan Nembhard has played well here in the preseason, the former Creighton point guard who went to Gonzaga, and he's played pretty well off the bench, and there's some interesting opportunities maybe for him to be the, quote, true point guard. He's undersized, but maybe he has a chance to play a bit more than people think. They need Russell to shoot threes, but I think Cooper Flag announces his presence here. I think Cooper Flag is going to be such an incredible pro and such a huge get for the Dallas Mavericks this season. The number is only 2.5 because I don't think people know exactly what Dallas is. And frankly, you have Wembanyama, and Wemby is Wemby, and he's going to be in the MVP conversation. I just think you have a home favorite, 2.5. Most people are going to be on Dallas. It's a popular play. This number probably should be 3.5 or 4. So why is it so low? Probably because the pros are taking the dog and keeping this number depressed. But I'm going to take Dallas at home. They're healthy at the moment. Will they stay healthy? I don't know. But I'm going to take it with Cooper Flag making his NBA debut in the Mavericks to get a win over the Spurs and Wembanyama. I can't wait to watch this game. This is going to be an awesome game to watch to get a good feel for where these two teams are. But I'll lay it. Dallas minus 2.5 at home against the San Antonio Spurs. So plays for today. Celtics, Sixers under 228.5. Cleveland, Knicks over 226.5, and Dallas at home against the Spurs, laying 2.5 points. All those bets for 1.1 units. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.